Zolak and Bertrand.
I want to happen to him what happened to you. Happened.
It was an intoxicating environment, and I got intoxicated.
Why does this keep happening?
Zolak and Bertrand, the Sports Hub.
I'm seeing some reports that Jaylen Brown has removed any references to the Celtics on social media. Can you confirm that, Tim McCone?
It's going around. I just don't know if there was one prior to today, right? Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how much was in the bios to begin with, because you're right. Those posts are going around. But there's some tweets saying that there was never a reference there to begin with.
Interesting. A lot of trade rumors, by the way, of where he could end up if he gets moved. The Clippers are a team that has come up as a potential landing spot. Houston was a team in rumors over the weekend that could be the case. Where could he end up? Because it's not going to be Milwaukee, right? That's not going to be where it's going to end up. They want picks. Clippers. That's one there he could land. But I don't know. I'm keep seeing that Jaylen Brown removing Celtics references. Did he ever have Celtics references? Was that
He's got
ever
a bunch
part?
of posts still up of him with like Celtics uniform, and he still follows them. So for whatever that's worth.
All right. I'm reading one report here. Jaylen to Clippers. Clippers. Number 5 overall pick could end up going back to Milwaukee. That's a potential rumor there.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna need the third team. That's the thing that's going to slow this thing down. Okay, give your percentages of what you think it is that the deal happens.
40 that it will, 60 it won't.
I'm at
based on what you said.
75% that this thing is going to happen. I just think there's a ton of smoke around this thing right now. And with Simmons coming out, the Simmons stuff is interesting too, because he throws it out there and he's not 100% on board with the trade itself. Like, he's not bought in on it, which again, so it's not like Simmons being a Celtics fan hoping for Giannis to come to Boston and pushing this narrative. It's like an informed guy who's telling you what he's heard, but not necessarily on board with the deal, which I think just gives it more, it makes it more real in my mind.
Yeah, so you're saying it gives him more credibility.
Yes.
Looking at it right now, markets on Kalshi for Giannis Antetokounmpo's next team. Miami, 49%. Mm-hmm. Boston, 40%. Stays with Milwaukee or retires, 11%.
Retires would be quite the upset.
Well, I'm in on Boston because I would put it at much higher than 40%.
Can I give you one?
You can give me whatever you
thing that would make me a little bit nervous about this deal, because I am Team Giannis and I do want to see him here. But who's pushing this deal?
That's why you like Connecticut basketball. But go ahead.
Excellent question. Who wants this deal to get done?
Because the one guy that would scare me would be Bill Chisholm. And the new owner wanted to make a splash, because we've seen that time and time again in the NBA. Go back to the Suns with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, and Matt Ishbia wanted to make his mark. Go down the list of all of these owners that have taken over and wanted to make a blockbuster deal when they first get this thing going. And if he's the one that's pushing this rather than Brad Stevens, that would make me nervous. If Brad Stevens is the guy that has identified this and says that this is what we need to do, I'm all in. If it's him getting orders from the owner, that to me makes me a lot more nervous about this.
Bill Chisholm was the last guy I would name. That is so far from my mind on this, because this is not about... So what would be Bill Chisholm's motivation? Star factor? Buzz?
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
We've seen it time and time again with new owners in the NBA. Go down the list.
Yeah, no, I understand. I don't think that's it. I think this is a basketball move. That's what I think this is. Basketball. And I actually think Joe Mazzulla could be a big factor in this, in being on board with this and wanting this player. So I think it's from the basketball side of the building, not
ownership.
A real question that I think we'll get more into once it happens, and I think it's happening, I think he's going to land here, is how does Tatum feel about it? How accepting of that is Jayson Tatum? Because Jayson Tatum has always wanted to establish himself as the guy here and the guy in general, wanting to be the face of the league, et cetera, et cetera.
Ain't the guy no more.
Okay. You bring in Giannis, and all of a sudden it's like, well, there's a guy who has won the MVP, and actually he's done it more than once. And there's a guy who has just as much hardware as you.
Yep.
In fact, he's got more.
How all NBA teams was he on? First team?
So
7.
how does that sit? And how does that feel for him?
It's a great question. They talked about the connection with Drew Hanlon, right? They both have like the same trainer.
Yeah.
But that's different than being on the same team.
I think they are friendly. So at least you've got that. I think they are friendly, and that's a good base to start from what I can tell. That's a good place to begin. I actually think it could have a huge side benefit for Tatum. I do.
In what sense?
Who's been a better leader on their team when they've been at their best? Tatum or Giannis?
Giannis.
It's Giannis. And so, I don't know. That's in a weird, like, passing of the torch type of thing. Like, hey, do it this way. This is how you can be. And Giannis, I don't think, is like the most fiery guy. He's a pretty measured guy. So it's like, hey, I'm not that rah-rah guy, but I can show you how to be a better leader. And I don't think Giannis has been perfect in that job either.
No, but I think
at times where you're like, oh, geez.
Yeah. And this past year, too, right? Being like the Evan Turner stuff that we've heard about him being 2 hours late, or Miles Turner, excuse me.
Yeah, to the plane.
Being 2 hours late to the plane and everyone waiting for him. But I think a lot of that stuff's also the Randy Moss with the Raiders, where you check out because you're with a clown franchise at that point. And you're just kind of over it, right? So you come back to Boston, you're reinvigorated, and you're a different player and a different person than what you were at the end of that Milwaukee run.
It's like, Corey, don't get me the hell out of here.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Like, don't you imagine that? I think we saw it. Kevin Garnett had a hugely positive impact on Paul Pierce, did he not?
Yes. Definitely.
And came here with more hardware and was the better player. And it worked, though. By the way, I was watching the 08. I stopped in on the 08 Celtics doc that was running last night on NBC Sports Boston. I can't not watch that thing every time it's on. It's just so good. I love that team.
It's just wild how it worked, man. Everything you push the chips in the middle of the table, and from day one it worked.
And Big Baby being in it, and all the big babiness of it. He just got out of prison, by the way.
Remember when he thought he was
back
great?
out? Did you guys see that?
I didn't see that he was back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was eating that chicken on the plane. Remember? He had that private jet that he didn't fit in. He was in the back of it. This is when he thought he was like the man.
He did 17 months for the involvement in a healthcare fraud scheme. Yep. False reimbursement claims to the NBA's
Isaiah.
I was just to say there were a lot of guys that went down in that.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a problem. But
pyramid scheme.
He got out back in March. You saw that. Celtics thoughts. Carl in Boston. Go ahead. What do you got?
Hey, Beetle, before I get to my point, I totally agree that 08 documentary about the Celtics is awesome. I'm like you. If it's on, I can't turn it off. It's awesome. The question I wanted to raise was following up on a previous caller. All this talk about trading Jaylen Brown. I think JT is the guy that's got to go.
Oh, jeez, another one.
Two good calls.
Oh my
another
God.
one.
Today, Carl.
Carl, do you really, deep down inside, do you believe there's any chance of that happening?
No, but like, we need a guy
Carl?
we need a guy with a killer instinct.
Oh,
like,
jeez. Here
Kobe.
we go.
You see how Brunson plays? You want that.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have that.
Right. Like, the fact that he sat out the Game 7 still bothers me. Like, Kobe or...
Why should
Kevin
that bug
Garnett
you?
would
He was
never-
going to play the next 2 days later. He just couldn't go that Saturday night.
He didn't say 2 days later. Now you're making things up.
He said he could play in the next
And the
series.
next series. He didn't say game one. Dude, he's going to
You
pop
guys-
his Achilles again for the
You guys
second
all
straight year.
reshape it. All
Great.
reshape it to help his narrative.
No, you literally just put fake words in his mouth and then claimed he said he'd be back 2 days later. He never.
I'll be able to play
he
next series.
He said he believed he'd be back the next series. Yes, he did. That is what he said.
Game 7. Game 7.
You guys have a hard time
I'm
just
texting
accepting.
Chris Gasper right now, and I hope he's doing great. And he loves my takes on Tatum because he's with me on it.
Yeah. Well, soon we won't have to have these debates anymore because the team is going to settle it for us.
Yeah, you're going to be a Giannis guy or a Tatum guy? Which one are you going with? So?
Which one are you going to be?
Oh, Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis, your best player. I like the best players on the team. I'm like you, McCone. I'm a front runner.
Oh, no, that's a big thing for McCone. He loves being a front runner.
Absolutely.
We'll talk a little more Patriots and talk about the A.J. Brown trade. Florio and Holley, Pro Football Talk, second-guessing why the Patriots did not do a better job on the deal in getting A.J. Brown. I don't think that's going away. I think that's something people are going to keep asking about that deal, unfortunately, for the Pats. We can hear that, and we'll react coming up next.
While you're working, so are they. If you can call sitting around talking about sports work.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Zolak and Bertrand, the Sports Hub.
The Patriots could have driven a harder bargain, potentially, than they did, because at the end of the day, what were the Eagles going to do? They weren't going to bring him back.
Yeah, the Patriots could have played this game, and I wonder if it would have worked out in their favor. They should have talked to Mike Florio about, hey, how do you approach buying cars? A car that you really want. Well, I never let them know that I really want it, and I'm willing to walk away from it. So if the Patriots had said, no, we're not going to give you a first, we're just not going to do it. Now, what Philadelphia would have done, clearly, because they wanted to get rid of A.J. Brown, they would have said, okay, well, we're going to open it up to the rest of the league. Now the market is a second. If you're not going to give me, if no one gives me a first, how about a second? And so now, instead of having one suitor for your first, maybe you have 7 suitors who say, hey, I wouldn't give up a first for A.J. Brown. I'll give up a second. And you might not wind up with the guy, because now you have competition that you didn't have before. So you can look at it both ways. One, the Patriots gave up too much, but if they had driven a harder bargain, then that would have opened it up to more suitors, and maybe you don't get the player that you want.
The first-round pick was to eliminate any competition. That's what it was. That was the price they paid to get the promise of the deal being done, for Howie Roseman to hang up the phone on anybody who called after they agreed to that deal. To wipe out competition for A.J. Brown, seal the deal, make sure they get the player, and I will not be critical of this Patriots team ever for overspending, either in draft capital or money and cash. And they might be doing both. They might be. They may not get a $30 million caliber receiver out of A.J. Brown this year. I don't really care. They have A.J. Brown, and he makes them a lot better. And they're not going to have that first-round pick. I don't really care. I've seen them blow enough first-round picks recently that I don't give a damn. And so I think that Holley hits it right on the head. That is, they paid that price to be able to know they were getting the player. Now, you talk about how they put themselves in that spot with poor drafting and development in the years leading up to this.
Right.
You can say that they may have been extra motivated by feeling like they really needed the upgrade to the offense with Drake May going into year 3 and leaving them high and dry in some regards. You may even throw into the conversation that they had a rocky offseason and found themselves in the headlines quite a bit for their head coach and his off-the-field activities, and so they really needed the win. You could even throw that in. Whatever the hell the reason may be, they ended up with the player, and they're better because of it. But I don't think the conversation about how much they paid for him is going to go away. It'll be brought up, good or bad, moving forward. It's not going to disappear. They paid a large price to get this player.
They overpaid for Carlton Davis a year ago?
They sure did.
Yeah, they overpaid for...
Did he make them better?
Yeah.
Did he come through at the most important time of the year in the playoffs? Absolutely.
Sometimes you got to overpay to get the guy that you want. Part of the business.
But you can talk about why you're in a position to constantly be overpaying. And that is... the Bill Belichick era still has not been erased in this franchise. Their failures in roster building still have a presence here, I would say. They have not completely gone away. The problems of the Gerard Mayo year have not completely gone away. And there are people still in the building who are drafting with Bill that are still here now, and I don't get that. I've never really understood that, how they were involved in those failures and still get to run the team, but they are, and those people are the ones overpaying to make up for their own mistakes.
We can't even answer the question yet because we haven't seen the kid play here yet. Like, at the end of the year, we can answer this question. Did they overpay for him then? Easy to answer that. If he's extremely productive and he has a better year than Diggs, but yeah, well worth it.
I don't think that having a better year than Diggs should be the bar.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be higher than that?
Yeah, that's what I said. Have a better year than Diggs.
No, I mean,
Diggs was
shouldn't the
1,004.
bar be much higher than that?
Yeah, I would say 1,200 and about 8 to 10 touchdowns. Yeah. If he gets anywhere near that, then it's worth giving up what you gave up. Period.
I think he's got to be significantly better than that for you to say, oh, that was worth it. That made sense. That they paid a fair price. For them to have paid a fair price, the expectations have to be the moon.
Just more of a presence from game to game. There were stretches where he was invisible last year. Diggs, yes.
Yeah, you can't have that with this player.
Brought that up last week, yeah.
If that happens with this player, then there's no way in hell you're going to say that they paid an appropriate fair price for the player. And I'm not expecting to say, oh, they paid a good fair price. I'm not. I think it'd be very difficult for him to do that. And I don't even know that I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting to say still at the end of the year, yeah, they overpaid. Whatever, though, it made him better. I mean, I'm going to be dismissive of it, but I'm not going to live in fantasy world and claim it was good. If this team had not drafted Baker, Polk, and Williams, they're not in this spot.
Or how about
okay?
all the other first-round busts they've had?
You have to, yeah, but okay, I'm talking specifically receivers in recent years.
Yeah, that should be a part of this core right now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot about Polk already.
We're only, 4 drafts removed from Tyquan Thornton being the 50th pick overall.
It's still in the league.
I'm sorry, but that's the truth. That's what they did. It's 4 receivers that they picked. Tyquan Thornton at 50th overall. And Jalen Polk at 37 overall. And Kyle Williams at 69 overall.
Your 2 best receivers are through free agency. Brown and Hollins.
And if you want to throw Baker in, he was 110th. That's what landed you here. That's what got you to this spot.
Yeah.
So say what you want about it being a Mike Vrabel move, which it is. It's a Mike Vrabel move. You know how Mike Vrabel was allowed to push for this? Because the people above him can't get the job done when it comes to drafting and developing receivers. The same way Bill Belichick couldn't do it. The same way they've struggled forever with this. That's why you find yourself in the spot. So if you overpaid, it's because of your own mistakes.
Yep.
Crap drafts. Yep. And bust it in round 1. So I don't really first round pick in 2 years. I don't care. Who cares? Another N'Keal Harry, Cole Strange. Should I keep going?
Will Campbell. Oh, sorry. Is that not one?
Isaiah Wynn, Sony Michel.
Look at that graphic that Fowler made here. Look at these studs.
There you go. Good job.
Polk, Baker, Harry.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, you can even attach the N'Keal Harry draft in 2019 to this because the player you traded for was in the same draft.
Yeah.
Who's 15?
And was 19 picks later.
N'Keal Harry was number 1.
No, Harry was 15.
He changed to number 1.
He changed numbers.
Oh,
try to get faster.
So when he played, he was number 1.
He was both. He wore both.
I don't remember 15.
Yeah. Speaking of the Patriots, how about we talk to a former Patriot?
Let's do it.
A former Patriots captain.
Whoa.
Mathew Slater will join us coming up next. Stay tuned for that.
All right, guys, let's go.
Zolak and Bertrand.
Zolak and who?
On the Sports Hub.
Coming up next Thursday night at Willow Bend in Mashpee is Champions for Peace, an evening of life, legacy, and action benefit for the construction of the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. and the National Center of Healing, Teaching, and Learning. And Mathew Slater is the special guest that will be at that event. So if you attend, you'll be able to meet and hear from Mathew Slater about not only football, but, of course, this impactful work. And Mathew Slater is with us now on Zolak and Bertrand. Matthew, how are you, sir? Great to see you.
I'm doing well, guys. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
We're doing great. Where the hell are you at?
I'm actually in Hawaii with my mom and dad. They just celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary, so we brought them out here to Hawaii.
Oh, my God, that is awesome. Tell your dad hello and congratulations, man. That's awesome. Where are you staying at out there?
It looks beautiful there.
Yeah.
You know, we're on the Big Island, and man, we haven't been here before. It's been amazing so far. So kids are having a good time. Mom and dad are having a good time. So we're all happy.
Is that a towel for the pool or is that a towel for a workout? What are we doing here?
Gotta get the workout in. You can't ever sacrifice the workout. So we just finished working out.
That's interesting, Matthew. You're a former player, and what routines have you kept from being a player that, let's say, maybe Zoe hasn't kept post playing days?
I don't know. You know, for me, I think movement is therapy. You get accustomed to training and staying active over the course of your playing career, and then in retirement, being able to move, I think is good for my mental health, is good for my physical health. So it's something that I've continued to make time for in retirement.
What kind of system are you on? Are you just on FaceTime on the phone right now? This sounds amazing.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm on FaceTime on the phone. I'm sorry.
No, this is awesome.
No, it works
we do
well.
Zooms that are train wrecks. I hate Zoom. This is great. Are you surprised the team was as good as they were a year ago, Matt, from the 2-4 win teams that you were on?
Well, it's tough to turn things around that quickly in this league. You usually think it takes time, but I think the team had the two key ingredients that it needed, obviously, in Drake and Mike. And I think those two guys did a really good job of creating a new identity for the team, and guys seemed to have really bought in. And it was great to see them have that success that early.
We're talking with Mathew Slater, former Patriot, also with a great event that we'll talk more about in a moment coming up. Matt, from what you've seen, Matt, of the quarterback play for this team and Drake May, what's sort of the ceiling for a team that has you played with Tom Brady for all those years? What's the ceiling for a team like this with Drake May?
Look, I'm extremely biased because I think Drake is a great young man, and obviously he's a special player, but I think you can't really put a ceiling on what they can accomplish with him. I think last year he looked really comfortable in Josh's system, and as he continues to get acclimated and has more command over the offense, the sky's the limit. He's such a unique talent in this league, and it's certainly an exciting time for the team. You can really feel the buzz, but you saw it last year. Like, this kid's going to be a special, special player.
How much more comfortable will Drake May and other offensive players on the Patriots be in year two under Josh McDaniels now?
Yeah, Josh's system is quite tough, so you got to assume that another year in the system will equal more comfort, more familiarity. The players around Drake as they get more settled in. I think it's really going to open up the floodgates, so to speak, and they're going to have even greater success. You had a guy like A.J. Brown, who I think is a generational talent. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
How much are the sodas down in the lobby? I heard they were $8 to $13 in Hawaii.
It's crazy. I'm drinking the free water. I'm retired.
Keep it all. Take it. Take all the water from the pool they give you. That's right. See, save your money, man. Save your money.
What's in the future for you? Are you considering trying to get back into coaching, stay in football? What's it going to be for you?
You know what? I'm actually in business school right now, so I'm about halfway through that. And my wife and I started a nonprofit while I was playing, so I think our heart is really to serve the people in the community of Boston when and where we can. There are a number of opportunities that I'm considering, but I want to finish school first and then make sure I do the things that are right for me and my family in this next chapter of life.
Where are you finishing school at? Online, or you go local?
I'm at MIT Sloan, so it's an in-person program. We're there on the weekends.
That's right.
It's an executive MBA, so it's been a lot of fun. It's been super challenging, but I've met a lot of great people, and I've learned a ton, so it's been a lot of fun.
We're talking with Mathew Slater, former Patriot. And Matthew, I have to tell you, I think we were doing an event years ago, a long time ago, and I was emceeing, and we were doing one of those Q&A things, talking about your career in football and all of it. And there's a story you told that I bring up from time to time that I tell people just when talking about young athletes. And you told a story about when you were, I think, in high school, and your dad, an all-time great himself, asked you if you were serious about pursuing playing football at a higher level. You told a story about he said something to you along the lines of you needed to be taught how to really run, and you had like some coaching about learning how to run, because I've coached some young athletes where I say, oh, that kid's really fast, but wait till he figures out how to run. And I've referred back to that story, and I know it was so many years ago. I would love for you to tell it again, how you went from being a good athlete to your dad saying, yeah, someone has to teach you how to run, which is so interesting.
Yeah, I think people underestimate how technical running is. And certainly, I have a track and field background. So it's funny, I talk about this all the time with kids and my wife, but, I think there were a lot of energy leaks in my running. My mechanics were a little bit off. And Ron Brown, who played with my dad out here for the Rams, was an Olympic gold medalist in the 86 games. And he came and just worked on me with technique and fundamentals and just cleaned up my form. And obviously my career, a lot of what I did on the field was centered around running. So that was very helpful in the long run. And then conditioning was a big piece of it. My dad said, if you can't be in shape, you can't play football. And certainly there were a lot of conditioning sessions with Dad that I did not enjoy, but I think they paid off in the long run.
Do you ever see young players that you think, wow, he's getting by just on his natural ability and could use a little more technique or could use a better understanding of mechanics? Maybe you saw that, I don't know, coaching the last few years. Do you ever come across that?
Oh, I saw it all the time. I saw it when I was playing. I saw it the 1 year I was there on staff. But, the guys that are in the NFL are super compensators. They're able to overcome deficiencies in form. They're so gifted. They're so talented. In a lot of instances, if you're in the NFL, you're there for a reason, and you've maximized, what your physical attributes are. So,
who's the one person that you miss the most from playing days, whether coach, whether it's a player, whether it's a trainer?
Yeah, I would say McCourty for sure. We spent 13 years together, and the relationship shifts when you don't see a guy every day. Julian and I, when we lived together for those 4 years, certainly. And then Scott O'Brien, who was a special teams coordinator here, who I really, have to credit for the success that I had in my career. So, you miss all those guys. It's such a special thing to be a part of a team like we were.
You lived with Julian for 4 years.
I did.
How bad was the sink?
Let's just say Julian didn't do much cleaning, and he knows that.
That's what I heard. Oh, man. You're a better man.
We made it work, though.
Well, speaking of teammates, you know who Mathew Slater's teammate will be next week, so?
No.
Steve Burton.
Oh!
Steve Burton is a part of this event that is coming up. It is, again, next Thursday, June 25th, the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, inviting everyone to Champions for Peace, an evening of life, legacy, and action. It's a special night in support of the Institute's first-of-its-kind National Center of Healing, Teaching, and Learning. The event is happening at Willow Bend Country Club in Mashpee. There's VIP access from 6:30 until 7. If you buy the VIP ticket, you'll have a chance to meet with Mathew Slater and Steve Burton. General admission tickets available as well. Mathew, why is this cause important to you, and why is this going to be such a special event next week?
Yeah, well, just when you dig into the history of this cause and why it was started, and you trace back gun violence, and I think gun violence is a huge issue across the country, but certainly in the greater Boston area. I think one of the things that we all should be trying to rally to do is to unify and find ways to find common ground with people and work towards peace and unity and togetherness, and just understand that we're all having a human experience that is difficult and that is impactful for us all in different ways. So to be able to call people to peace and unity is something that I've always felt called to do, certainly as a Christian. And I'm excited to partner with the work that they're doing and bring awareness to this cause.
Hey, and a quick heads up, Steve Burton just got inducted to the Massachusetts Broadcaster Hall of Fame. And Dan Roach is, Danny at Channel 4. He's getting rich on crypto. He's bought a house. He bought a Bentley. He made $165,000 the other day. Dan's Twitter got hacked, and he's losing his mind. It's the best thing that ever happened to Dan. It's great.
Oh, my gosh. That's hilarious.
Again, it's all to benefit the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. Next week, go to ldbpeaceinstitute.org. Mathew, always great talking to you.
See you, Matt. Best to your parents.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, take care. Mathew Slater with us here on Zolak and Bertrand. Plenty more to come on this fine program. Zoe?
Yeah.
What? Last week we were talking about that lacrosse story.
Yeah.
Ipswich team.
We've been falling like crazy as a family.
You got more on that today? You really wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
We could do that coming up. Stick around.
Nothing happens in Boston sports
What's he doing?
you won't find out about here.
Blowing on the nozzle.
Zolak and Bertrand.
Thought it was clogged.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Ipswich schools now disputing parents' explanation of a graduation picture that appeared to show lacrosse players smoking celebratory cigars after graduation. The school district suspended 6 seniors from the team's state semifinal, forcing them to forfeit and ending their season. Well, parents told WBZ when we broke this story earlier in this week that the cigars were fake, made from dried paper and tea leaves. They said that they showed school administrators a receipt to prove that. Well, the school now says the receipt was actually time-stamped 20 minutes after families learned that the students had violated MIAA rules. The superintendent said there are other photos showing the students surrounded by smoke and that the cigars were significantly shorter. In a statement, the superintendent said in part, "We fully understand the disappointment, frustration, and emotions that have accompanied this outcome. As educators and school leaders, we're always disappointed when we have to make difficult decisions like this. One of the most important lessons we teach young people is that choices have consequences, even when those consequences are difficult or painful."
I mean, there's a price to win. That's what you got to ask yourself at some point. It's great for Lester to teach it, but through all this, my kid went to the state championship game in Worcester at Polar Park, and we sat him down before he left, and I said, "Are you going to be drinking at any point?" No, I don't drink. I said, I'm just asking you. Because you put something in your hand, and we brought up this whole thing with the kids from Ipswich with the cigars. I don't care if you have a cigar, a cigarette, a drink in your hand, a shot, a nip, whatever. The second that's in print, you're done. You're done. It follows you forever. So all these schools you want to get in, or anybody that wants to recruit you, guess what? You live in a world now where news is 24/7. The internet, social media. The worst thing to do is kid pressure. Kid pressure is the worst. Peer pressure. And I told them that after the prom. I said, I know there's going to be kids drinking. I said, you are not driving. You're not to get in a car. You're not to hold a beer. You're not to have a picture taken about a beer. I don't care if you're at the party and people are drinking that. I will come pick you up and they will stay at my house, all the kids. Never get in a car. But, you take this and you kind of learn from it. But, man, they are, taking it to the next level. The superintendent went to the store to research what type of cigars were there, where they were bought, and he found out that they were actually bought after the picture was taken.
The tea leaves.
Tea leaves.
They presented a receipt. A receipt of tea.
Teabag in Ipswich.
They buy bags? What they buy?
Be called the teabaggers now, Ipswich. Whatever your nicknames were. Clams.
And then what happened was they tried to smudge out the time and date of the purchase. And
Smart.
By the way, what?
Smart. Trying to smudge it out.
Oh, yeah. No, that was brilliant. Because the suspension had already happened. They had already decided it. And then they went to the school and berated the principal, I think it was.
Yeah. There was shout
body
matches.
cam footage of that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, okay.
But,
so then they look at the receipt and they say, why is the date and time smudged out? Oh, because you produced this receipt that was from after you had been notified of the suspension. So not even after when the pictures were taken. After the punishment had been told to them.
Right.
They went out to the supermarket and bought themselves some tea bags and brought the receipt as the proof that they were fake.
Teabag in Ipswich. Jeez.
Is it a dumb rule?
Yes.
Yeah,
Did the parents give the principal and the superintendent an out to say that it was tea and we looked into it and that they weren't actually smoking real cigars and just go with that story? Yes.
I guess. Yeah.
The answer is yes.
You didn't have to turn into Columbo and go on an investigation. It's a dumb rule. I don't know why you would enforce it if they gave him an out.
They didn't do that until after it was already decided. They looked at the photo. They're real. I mean, did anyone believe this story? No. Nobody believed the story. They didn't believe the story.
You go buy a couple of white tips down to.
And also,
who cares if they're? Again, I go back to who cares if they're real.
Do you know how many potheads must be in that school?
I would just say this: would you be?
Do you think they're the only athletes in the last 10 years that have done this? By the way, since the last suspensions.
No, there's been 3 in the last decade that we were talking. Or 3
do you think those are the only 3 cases of athletes smoking cigars?
No, but I can tell you that these are the 3 that were dumb enough to take pictures of themselves doing it and then post it on the internet.
They probably didn't even know it was a rule. Which again, I go back to the superintendent and the principal. If you're going to follow these rules the way that you are, why don't you actually send out an email or something like that to your coaches?
This is a pretty well-known MIAA rule, though.
He brought up.
You play sports.
So then, where are the coaches and the AD then sending out an email or at least enforcing it, saying, guys,
said last week.
That's what I said. That was the first thing I said about this. I said you should blame them,
dumbass coaches,
for not being on top of this and not reinforcing it with their players. Yes. I'm not going to get all up in arms about a bunch of 18-year-old kids. I'm going to tell you, where the hell were your coaches and parents and ADs and school people reminding these kids of these rules, reinforcing these rules? You're not the first team to run into this. You're the 3rd lacrosse team that we could find in a matter of a 10-second Google in this state that have done this. It's not new. Yeah. It's a
bad rule.
Long-standing rule. Well,
bad rule.
It isn't. It isn't. Like,
is enforcing this situation in the spirit of the rule?
No,
it's not.
No, it isn't. No, but it. I mean, that's like saying, well, if the 16-year-old only smokes 1 cigarette, is that in the spirit of the rule? I mean, it's a rule for a reason.
It's not a rule for this. I'm sorry, it's not. And if you screwed up, by the way, because I do think
should there be an exemption in there? The graduation cigar exemption?
He gave.
Can we add that one in?
I wouldn't hate that. I also think that
you're graduated. You're not. In
I would just say that if you're 18 years old, and you're doing something legally, I'm not sure why there's such a, the rule. There's such a hard rule against that. Like if you're talking about alcohol, that's illegal for every kid in high school.
It's got to be on the coaches somewhat to drill that discipline.
Totally agree with you on that. This is not like some secret rule, though. I get it. It's not in the spirit of the rule. It's not a great rule.
If they didn't come out, if the coaches and the athletic director and the principal and the super, by the way, didn't come out and say something prior to it, again, I go back to, isn't this an opportunity here when they gave you the out of saying it was the tea leaves in the first place? To just go with that, let these kids play, and then follow up the next year and make sure that you guys are all over it and that it's not going to actually happen again?
We obviously have the picture of the kids. We've seen the picture of the kids. Here's my question. Who presented it? Who said this is a problem? Because this happens in all schools. Whether it's there's a little bit of hazing going on or something, and there's the one parent that complains and puts the kid in a tough spot. Because then the other kids take it out on the kid. Who turned him in? Was it just the principal went out this way? We got a picture here. Somebody turned him in. Somebody brought it to the attention.
I think it's an opposing player. Or town, without a doubt. That's my guess. Because I believe I read something that that people started reposting it, trying to get them in trouble and making a thing of it, which is what happens when you take pictures of it and post it on the internet. That's what happens. It happens every time.
So I would just go with the tea leaf thing, and then you know what? If another opposing school wants to keep pushing it, just highlight the fact that they're a-holes, man. Like that. No one's going to get on you for allowing those kids to play.
I don't know what to tell you. I just can't bring myself to get all that worked up over this. And you know me, I typically like to get all worked up.
Do it in preseason. Do it in camp. Don't do it after.
They don't even have to dole it out if you want to. You know
so you thought it was someone from Cohasset who?
It could have been
the drum.
Could have been.
Probably.
Right.
Those softies.
They did win the championship, by the way.
Oh, did they?
Well,
got a huge asterisk on that thing.
Yeah. Congrats.
With skippers.
The what? Skippers.
Yeah.
Skippity doo dah.
I hope they enjoyed the cigars, though. I mean, hope they were good. Hope they were decent cigars. Not some drugstore crap.
See, we had issues.
They don't even sell them in the drugstores anymore.
Did the Super come out with this statement on Friday?
I hope they were Cuban. You know? Something real good. Something
Arsenal's
smooth.
so smart. They got in trouble years ago for this boxing thing.
I hope they weren't dried out.
Why did the superintendent come out with this statement on Friday, by the way?
I don't know.
What was the point of that?
I don't know.
To make himself look better?
Yeah.
Well,
it was.
Because people like you were hammering
He's going to run for school board
rightfully
again
so.
next time. Yeah.
hammering the guy. Like he was the one that did something wrong.
But you
He
gotta
did.
learn from it.
He did.
You got to learn
Whereas the players who broke the rules, the parents who
my
lied
God.
on their behalf, and somehow
Oh,
it's
my God.
somehow it's the school admin's fault.
Yes.
For following through on the
Yes,
rules.
be a normal person.
Yeah. Be normal.
Lie and defend them. Okay,
I
I
bet
mean,
he
if
doesn't
that's the
have-
hill you
I bet
want
he
to
doesn't
die
have
on.
a
You didn't have to lie. You just had to be gullible.
Bet you has
You
no
didn't have to lie.
no
You had
kid
to be
in sports.
gullible.
I
That's
bet
what you
has
had to do.
no kids that play sports.
Intentionally gullible is also lying.
Who's going to follow up on that? Who else was going to Shaw's other than him?
Answer. I don't know the answer.
That's the guy.
I'm taking my car and I'm
I
going to
don't
Shaw's.
know the answer to that.
David
So,
Caruso.
I don't know what happens next if they let those kids play. Do they get in trouble next year? I don't know. I can't bring myself to care.
Well, you learn from it,
Like,
Beetle.
people are so wrapped up in this thing. Like
5 years ago,
Whatever.
we had 4 years ago, we had a fight night at camp, football team. They had boxing, a sophomores box. Well, somebody complained, and that ended that. We don't do that anymore, so you learn from it.
Why'd they have to forfeit, by the way? They couldn't have, like, JV play?
So
They said they didn't have enough players.
Oh no, they also had players that refused to play in solidarity with the kids who got caught.
Good for those
Teammates.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
So did they? I want to
Give
know
them a
that
trophy.
answer.
Good.
Would they have had enough kids to play? Had the solidarity kids decided, well, I'm still going to play. I didn't break the rules.
I like
I
that.
still want a shot.
I
at
like
this
that.
thing.
When would they get the chance to play this team again? Is that like next year?
Here's what we're finding: Tim McCullough,
Lay the wood.
low character guy.
Not a low character guy. I'm gonna stick up for my guys.
No, he's a do what's right guy.
I'm gonna stick up for my guys. It's
a little
called common
extreme, man.
sense
It's a
too,
little
by the way.
extreme. Come on.
Yeah.
It's not like they were drinking and driving here.
Sorry, there's nothing I can do. It's in the rule book. Sick, dude.
And I'm going to Shaw's to teabag. What a teabag.
Defender of Ipswich and Roman Anthony.
Yeah,
Oh, how's he doing? It's another Monday, guys. We got a Roman Anthony check?
yeah. Let's do a check in on Roman.
Yeah, let's see what's happening.
Let's see if we got anything on that. You just put the finger up like you had something.
I think we do have an update from today. I'll look into it.
Excellent.
Roman Anthony update, Red Sox update. And oh, by the way, I just found out, I didn't even know this. Tobacco is 21 now. It's not 18 anymore.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
All right. That actually changes it even more for me. I guess that is a good rule then. Don't illegally consume tobacco or alcohol underage. I forgot. Is that a national thing now, or is that just state by state? It's 21.
Sorry, I'm looking for this Roman Anthony update. I missed that.
All right,
whole
yeah.
thing,
Tobacco age is now 21. Does that change anything for you?
Not really, but it's tough.
Okay. It changed in Massachusetts in 2023, I believe. Oh, no. Sorry. 2019.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Shows you. So that's why. Under 21, you're not allowed to purchase tobacco or alcohol in the state of Massachusetts. So it's
Not allowed to purchase or not allowed to use?
well, I think the same would be true of alcohol, isn't it?
I guess, probably.
I don't know. Listen. I don't care that much about this story, but you clearly do, and so does Zoe. You know, I don't know where Zoe falls on this exactly. Who he hates or doesn't hate or like.
Let him play, he
Let
says.
him play. Okay, let him play. Great. Here are the headlines. Roman Anthony talk next.